What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, what I want to go over is the Altra Escalante 3 after 85 miles. If you guys haven't seen it, I did an initial review where I compared it to the Escalante 2.5. Now that I have 85 miles on this shoe, I wanted to come back, share with you guys my thoughts, share with you guys how the shoe has been over the past 85 miles. So when you take a look at this shoe, this is going to be Altra's zero drop daily trainer slash speed shoe is the way I look at it. That's how I define it. So when you take a look at how I've utilized this shoe, I've utilized it as a daily trainer, but I've also utilized it for the days that I had harder efforts or that I wanted to run faster. So the Escalante 3 is going to be 24 millimeter stack height. It is going to be zero drop. So when you take a look at Altra, if you haven't tried the brand out, they're known for having a zero drop platform. So if you take a look, basically what that means is the heel and the forefoot, they're going to be on the same height, right? That's important to note because if you haven't used a zero drop shoe before, you do want to transition into it. Also, what Altra is known for is their wide toe box. As you can see here, it is going to be foot shaped. So rather than having a shoe that tapers when it comes to the point in the front, it's going to be foot shaped. That's what Altra is known for, zero drop, and also their foot shaped toe box. The benefit of having a foot-shaped toe box is the fact that your toes can splay. So basically that just means they can spread apart in the front of the shoe rather than having them be squished together as you run. So it is going to be a comfortable shoe, right? So let's talk about the way this shoe feels. So I enjoy this shoe. I think it's very comfortable. I actually feel that the cushioning is better than the 2.5. So when you take a look at this shoe, it is going to have the Ego midsole. For some reason, even though it's the same stack height as the prior edition, this model feels more plush as I'm running. So I do feel like I'm getting a little bit more cushion, which I'm not necessarily sure where that has come from. Maybe that has to do something with the Ego midsole, but ultimately it does feel a little bit more plush. As I'm running, I've mentioned this before, the Escalante has a lot of ground feel. So if you're somebody that likes ground feel, I would say to definitely take a look at this shoe because when you're running, you do feel the ground under you. You do have a good idea of where your foot is landing, what the experience of your foot hitting the ground feels like. However, if you do not like ground feel, I would say this shoe is not for you, right? Because you want to make sure that if you're using this shoe, you're used to having that ground feel, you're used to really feeling your effort. That's something that I've noticed with utilizing this shoe is that when you're pushing, when you're running, you are going to feel the effort of pushing off the ground. And that's one of the reasons why I like this shoe so much is that you feel the push off, right? So I've ran in maximalist shoes, I've ran in shoes like Clifton, I've ran in shoes like the Topo Spectre, which I've done a review on before. But when it comes to those shoes, I don't really feel the push off, right? I don't really feel myself driving forward in those shoes. So I don't feel connected to the ground. In this shoe, you're gonna feel connected to the ground, which is a big benefit. The other thing I wanna talk about with this shoe is how it feels on your foot from the standpoint of, does it feel big? Does it feel tight? Altra, if you are an avid user of Altra shoes, say you've been using them for the past couple of years like myself, I have had some issues with Altra. I'll be honest. The issues that I've had have come down to durability, but also their sizing, right? There's not consistency with the brand. And what I mean by that is from, say, the 2.5 to the 3, I've had to think about what size I should get. When I've used other models from Altra, I have had to figure out what size I should get. When it comes to this shoe, I wear a 9.5. So with that being said, what I do is I actually go about a half size up no matter what shoe I'm wearing to make sure that I have enough room for my toes, right? Personally, my pointer toe is a little longer than my big toe, so going up a little bit bigger than my true shoe size is what works for me. So going for a 9.5 in this shoe, it does work, right? I think that is something that I'm really happy with because I have gone and tried a 9.5 in, for example, say the Tourin, and it didn't work. So for me, this shoe does fit true to the size that I go for, right? So you're gonna have to think about your own foot, your own toes. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it fits true to size because you might not have that same experience. From a width standpoint, I do feel that this width has stayed consistent with the prior models that I've tried on, and I feel that it's stayed consistent to Altra's original shoe, right? I think one of the things that you see a lot of critiques on when it comes to Altra is that over the years they've gotten more mainstream. They have become more narrow. In this shoe, I feel like my toes are able to splay perfectly fine. I feel like the fit is really good. The upper is plush, so the prior edition and some of the other Altra shoes, when you take a look at the upper, especially the tongue, they have, for some reason, really shaved off the padding on the tongue. In this shoe, I love the tongue. I think the tongue is extremely comfortable. When you tie your shoe, you're not feeling the laces on the top of your foot. It's a very comfortable shoe, so I think that that's a big benefit when you wear this shoe, is that it is comfortable, but it does have the benefit of being a lighter shoe. When I look at what I have used the shoe for, right, I know I use the shoe for when I go out on runs ranging from 10 miles all the way up to 20 miles, right? And anything below that, I'm going to use the Escalante because I like the ground feel. I like the way that I feel when I'm running in it. With that being said, when I do speed work, I 110% will go and use my Escalante 3. So I just did a race a couple weekends ago. It was a 12-hour relay race, and ultimately it was on a 3 3/4 mile loop. So every time that I ran that, I was using this with the exception of one time, which honestly I wish I used this shoe instead. So when I ran, I was able to run as fast as 7-minute mile across the loop, and I was able to run that in the Escalante 3. I felt fast, I felt like the shoe was light, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking to pick up the speed in an Altra shoe and you don't want to break the bank in order to do it, I would say go for the Escalante 3 because it's $140, right? I think utilizing that shoe for your speed days and for your harder efforts, this shoe is going to be able to handle it, and it's going to be a shoe that works if you like the zero drop and the wide toe box. As far as wear and tear, I do see some slight wear on the bottom right corner of the shoe where my heel lands. I imagine that's probably where my heel lands during my stride, during my gait. So I am seeing a little bit of wear. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see that on the camera, but ultimately I am having a little bit of wear there. So I don't know what that means for the shoe, right? I probably will try to get at least 300 miles out of the shoe, which I don't really feel is that much. I know for my last Escalante, got about 250 out of it, and then I felt like the midsole broke down and I had a lot of issues. But ultimately, I do feel that I should be able to get probably 300 miles out of this. And the reason why I say that is I am getting that wear there, but the rest of the outsole is holding up nicely. So, maybe I get 325, 350 out of the shoe, but I am seeing a little bit of a breakdown in the shoe. So ultimately, when it comes to the Escalante 3, I think it's a great shoe. For what I'm looking for, it has given me exactly what I want. It's given me the experience that I was used to from my prior edition of having an Escalante. And I feel that I'm a stronger runner because of the shoe. It is going to be, like I said, a lower stack height shoe. It's not a minimal shoe by any means, but it is definitely a neutral. I mean, you can twist it, you can fold it, and you're going to be able to do that with the shoe, right? So I think when you use this shoe, know that that's what you're getting when you're getting yourself into running in it. But for me, it has done exactly what I want. It's comfortable, it has a wide toe box. I have felt strong running in the shoe. I feel like my calves feel strong, my feet feel strong. So I definitely think it's a great shoe to try out if you want zero drop, if you want ground feel, and if you want a lighter shoe that's not going to break the bank. So if you like this review, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with a friend if you think they find it useful, and let me know what other videos you want me to make. I'll see you guys in the next one.